No matter which sports, yeah, we got it covered. Subscribe and hit the notification bell.
Yes, my viewers and subscribers, what's up, what's up? Welcome back. Another Sunday evening live show. Yes, my peeps, blessings, wherever you are joining us from. I just want to take the time out to say I really appreciate you guys for waiting and coming on. You know, we have a couple of things to talk about, but I just want to get some things out of the way first. First things first, I appreciate you guys with all the comments and all the likes and the shares, you know, that we actually received in that series, West Indies versus Australia. I know what the series didn't actually go the way in which we wanted it to go, but at the end of the day, you know, we were able to keep a vibe on the channel, come on, talk and give our opinions and all of that. And that is the beauty of this platform, you know. You have the chance to come and share your views as it relates to cricket and other matters. So welcome. Once you are in, just hit that like button and share it if you can. You know, tell a friend that we are live, and it's 6:02. We will be live for another 58 minutes, so we have some time to talk some cricket. White is in the house already. White's a blessings kings. Yeah, man, blessings, my brother, blessings. Cricket lover, blessings. Welcome. All right, so as you come on, you can just go ahead and let me know in the comment section what you have to say about that series that was just concluded. So West Indies going down to Australia. I mean, not a big disappointment for me in the sense that I didn't expect them to win. You understand? But I'm a little bit disappointed how the second test match turned out. The first test match, not to say that I am happy with defeat, but I understand. I can separate my emotions from what is actually happening and where our team is actually at. You understand? We were outplayed in the second test match. That I can understand. You understand? Sterling says Craig Brathwaite and Tagenarine and Chanderpaul are proper test batters, and they would have proven so. Sterling, I agree. Mr. Lover say here, bro, disappointed. The rest are not. Say so. Tagenarine and Chanderpaul and Brathwaite, they are proper test batsmen, and the rest they are not. I can't even disagree with you too much because you know the proof is in the pudding, as they say. If I am supposed to talk, I'll quit, says Mr. Lover. Disappointed and thanks that Phil time is over. And as I talk about Phil, we probably can spend some time tonight also talk, just to talk about possible replacements. I know quite a few people have Shivnarine Chanderpaul and Curtly Ambrose on the top of their list. But, you know, I don't mean to burst anybody's bubble, but what I'm going to say is this: whoever is appointed, they will struggle just the same. The team will struggle because there are some fundamental things that is wrong with this team. Tage really put his foot down as West Indies' next test all-rounder. Australia is one of the toughest places to make runs. He will only get better. I agree. He will definitely get better. What was the purpose of Haynes being in Australia? He should have been back in the Caribbean doing what he is being paid to do, to look for potential players to select. He was probably there ringing the bell. I saw him ringing a bell. But in all honesty, though, whatever league is being played in the Caribbean, the selectors should be available, as you rightly said, looking at how they are performing. You understand? Looking at how people performing in the Caribbean. The test match was on the television and it was in the night, so you definitely could have watched and would have been able to see how the players were playing to see whether or not you need to keep them in or drop or recommend that they be dropped or whatever. But you know, it should be there looking at. I mean, there wasn't any top leagues going on or anything that he could be looking at. You know, we brought Chase just to bat. Yeah, it seems that way. Big up Sports to the Bone. Good night. Time holder Brooks Banner Blackwood must be dropped. It's time overdue. Sports to the Bone. Why, Kurt, I can't even knock you on that at all because these guys they haven't really done much in in a little while now. You know, Tage 160 runs at 40, Brathwaite 196 at 49. So both guys did pretty well. Oh, all right. Blessings, Sheldon, blessings. I expect a fight. Okay, talking about what league? Yeah, that's the thing, Javid. I mean, yeah, you know, that's the thing. He should be here watching what's going on in the Caribbean, but no top league is being played. So even if any cricket is being played, it's some little probably local club cricket, and these guys probably are not ready for West Indies. So you know, maybe he's over there. Maybe he's over there just looking at the great players that he selected. Better I watch the snowfall outside right now, says Mr. Lover. Good night, Sports to the Bone. Thoughts on the World Cup? The World Cup is going on good. You know, my little bug team that I support, Argentina, we are still there. You know, I had selected Brazil to win the cup, but obviously they are out. England is, you know, out also. It's France is looking good. Morocco, as I would have indicated earlier, looking good. The only thing with Morocco, they don't really have a lot of goal scorers, but it's not easy to score on Morocco. So if they score one goal on you, you're not going to be easy to score. But Argentina is my team for those who you know, don't know. Sports to the Bone. Windies going Zimbabwe next month. Yeah, they're going Zimbabwe January and then South Africa. So we're going to Zimbabwe and then South Africa. All right. Salova telling us. Don't know why people disappointed before the matches. I saw people saying that the games would finish by day 3. That's true, Joe. Quite a few people were saying that we probably go last 3.5 days. You understand? Maybe people are upset, especially at the second game because of how well we played in the first game. Blackwood averaged 30 and Banner averaged somewhere around that. Where can you find that in the Caribbean, says Javid. I am very disappointed by the performance of West Indies side. Both bowling and batting are found wanting. We are playing too much T20 cricket. We need to focus on the 4-day game. And Joseph, you are correct. We need to focus on red ball cricket. That is something that we preach on this platform very often, but the players are not interested in that because they can make twice or thrice the amount they make playing 4-day cricket, just playing some leagues, and they are not worried about West Indies cricket. They're just worried about making money. We didn't pick a genuine spinner. Then in the first test, the spinners on both sides took wickets. We got a second chance to pick one as a replacement for the second test, but we picked a fast bowler. Why can't our fast bowlers swing the ball or keep bowling a good line and good length? We have none of that. You see, it's about, the thing is, the ball that we use in the Caribbean, I think we use the Duke's ball in the Caribbean. So we see Jaden Seals and Kemar Roach getting that ball to move around. Somebody can correct me if I am wrong. But the Duke's ball, it's easier to move around. That is why you see these guys getting the ball to swing, especially when we're playing in the Caribbean. But over in Australia, I think they use the Kookaburra ball. Kookaburra, I think it is called. That ball is harder to swing. You understand? And our players, they are not big movers of the ball. So with less help from the ball, you know, it's going to be more difficult. But in terms of why they are not able to bowl a good line and length, it all has to do with the quality of the bowler. And quality bowlers, they consistently hit a good line and length. And, you know, it might sound away, but we are probably not as quality as how we would think. We're past talking about dropping players. What we saw in Australia is almost 30 years of governing failure by Cricket West Indies. It is too easy to focus on a few players. All right, the World Cup is being set up for Nessie to win. Everybody is going to sing that song because of the refereeing in the game. I think it was the Portugal game and the England game. But at the end of, I'm not even going to subscribe to that because that in itself is don't make any sense to me, because you still have to go out there and play. If you even make it to the final, you still have to play. Whichever team you play in the final, they would have made it to the final also. So, you know, you still have to play. When are we going to have serious conversation about how mediocre Jason Holder has been lately? He had 1 wicket for over 200 runs and made hardly any runs. Henry, that is something that we spoke about going into the series. You know, we definitely spoke about that. Phillips, but better than anyone. Probably not better than Tage and Brathwaite, but you know he looked better than the so-called top and middle order batsmen. Heard some stats that this is only the fourth time in the last 17 years or so we made over 250 against Australia. It's probably I don't know the stats, but it's a possibility. Sports to the bone. What's going on with the West Indies? 77 runs was disastrous. Just quality bowling, better bowling coming up against poor batting. You know that was it. Tagenarine and Chanderpaul top scored with 17, so it was just poor batting. So here's my plan: King, Dorich, Arthanes, Carty in, out, Brooks, Banner, Blackwood, and Hola, says Mr. Lover. All right, I hear you, Mr. Lover. Australia use a different ball. I think they use the Kookaburra ball, man. Bring back the CB. That's that. We use Dukes. They use Kookaburra. So yeah. All right, Dorich. Which is a pure batsman. But Dorich got a chance in the regional tournament and the Super 50 to remind us that he's a pure batsman, and he didn't really remind us. Across his 4 innings in the 2-test stage, Narayan has averaged 40. Good debut. Yeah, man, we spoke about that a little earlier. Hope needs to get back in the test team. And the easiest way for that to happen, Jose, is for him to score runs in the 4-day competition. And probably, you know, that is what they asked him to do. He was given a long run. He was given a lengthy run in the 4-day tournament, in the test team, even though he wasn't producing. He got dropped and then they brought him back in after he was being consistent in ODI. They brought him back in and it didn't work. So all he needs to do is to show that show that he's ready for red ball cricket. And the best way to do that, outperform Devon Thomas, Raymond Reefer, Blackwood, and all of these guys that keep on outperforming him in the 4-day tournament. That's all he needs to do to get back in. Nobody has blocked him or has locked the door on him. All he needs to do is outperform these guys and he will get the spot. Holder, Brooks, and Blackwood need to be dropped, but because of politics, Holder will never be dropped. I'm not too sure if that is the reason why Holder will never be dropped. I think it's because, I mean, he didn't do anything. He hasn't done anything recently. But if you look on it, who is a pure all-rounder that is going to take Holder's spot? Who is that pure all-rounder? I mean, they're playing Holder and Mears in team together, so Mears is not there to take the spot. Which all-rounder is performing like that we think we can probably put in? Just a question. Question must be asked about Da Silva and all those Jaden Seals fans. May get vexed, but Seals medium pacers bowling ineffective. Now it was shown in the first test. Time for Oshane Thomas, Shemar Hola. And as I said, all these guys need to do is just perform and they will get the spot, Kurt. Nobody has locked the door on Oshane Thomas. Nobody has locked the door on Shemar Hola. All these guys need to do is perform and they will get the spot. Oshane Thomas cannot bowl for 3 overs straight in a T20 game, much less bowl in a put a spell of 10 overs together in test cricket. His pace is not 140 anymore. Shemar Hola, injury is his problem. Nobody has locked the door on these guys. You see, Shemar Hola, Oshane Thomas, and Shea Hope. Nobody has locked the door on these guys, you know. They just need to perform and they will get the spot. Bro, right now, Hola, Blackwood, and Banner needs a break. That incorrect. Not sure what you're talking about, Mario. Azari can't out any top order batsman consistently. Pace is great, but bowling, IQ, and focus has to improve. It has been 5 to 6 years now, and his development is snail pace. I wouldn't really say it is snail pace. I mean, we want to see consistency in terms of getting top order batsmen out, as you said, but I wouldn't say that it's necessarily snail pace. He started off slow, but over the last 15 to 16 months, I think it has picked up somewhat. Mohammed, good night, blessings. Yeah, man, blessings. Sports to the bone, I found out that West Indies will play Zimbabwe maybe January or February. Yeah, Salman, I did a video earlier today talking about that. We will play them in January. So we will play Zimbabwe in January and then we will have South Africa after. Sports and Bone, give that SA and you give that South Africa and UAE T20 coming up, and players like Hola may not be go to Zimbabwe. Maybe it's chance for a few youngsters to be um, given a chance. Yeah, I mean, if these guys are not going as you said, we probably need to find an all-rounder that would have done well recently in probably the 4-day or the regional tournament. It would be nice to see. I mean, Brandon King is going. It will be going. It would be nice to see people like Brandon King and Casey Carty. I mean, Brandon King hasn't scored any runs in the 4-day regional tournament to get a spot in, even though I see people calling for him. But these are some of the guys that we definitely want to see in. Holder and Brooks has to go. Blackwood, I would give him the tour of South Africa to see what's going on. All right, sounds good. No one drops from the test squad except Brooks, but we go in Zimbabwe. All our test players will play in the South Africa T20. Let's see what the youngsters can do. I think people like Casey Carty and Alec Arthanes and these guys can probably get a look in. Should we try more young player against Zimbabwe? If the young players are ready, if they are ready, why not? Holler's test game has declined since he started focusing so and playing in different leagues, says Crick Lover. Mr. Lover says Kimo Paul. Kimo Paul is probably going to be playing T20 league also. Oshane Thomas actually looking like he put in work fitness-wise. That would be good. That would definitely be good. That would be nice. Sports to the bone. To be honest with you, I think West Indies will make more against Zimbabwe. Well, we should make more, but you never can tell. And next question is, why are we playing 4-day cricket and not 5 days when a test match is 5 days? That is something that I have asked on several occasions. I don't know. Stay Humble say it's not surprising we went down 2-0 to Australia, but the lack of fight in the second test was telling. Consistency is key, and I feel a way that we fly in mainly as backup and break down after 2 overs. That is the thing, I said this in a video. Playing test cricket is a whole different level, man. You might be playing some club cricket, but the pressure alone, the workload, everything is totally different. You understand? So a man, and when they go in a different condition, the muscles need to adjust and things. But I'm not too sure which other pace bowler we could have brought in. More than I personally believe that the call went out and they probably heard that Shannon was not able to really do that, to really stand up to it. About the 250 in over. Oh, someone typed that we haven't scored. Yeah, I don't know the stats off my head, so I don't know. Where is the new coach and staff? I guess we will be hearing it pretty soon. I guess we'll be hearing. He scored 100 in his 1 innings. Sports of the Bone, I think they'll use the same squad against Zimbabwe and South Africa. If all the players are available, more than likely. Give hope, Carty King, the middle order in Zimbabwe. Rest Blackwood Banner or drop. All right. Good night, sports. Sports for me, Gabriel, Shepherd, Moti, and Premar should be in the test squad. I personally wouldn't fight down the Moti selection and probably the Moti selection. I wouldn't fight down the Moti selection or the Premar. Both of them wouldn't have made the squad because we would only need one spinner. But they would have to replace. They would have to be there instead of Chase, and we know how that go. Gabriel, I'm not too sure if he was ready. Shepherd would be playing as an all-rounder. Don't know if we would need another all-rounder there. Seals is bowling too slow for his physical attributes. Every spell he gets slower and falls to the late 70 miles per hour. Hola bowling mostly 70 miles per hour is madness. He's struggling to get wickets. Yeah. Fitness is one thing, You say if you are not fit, then you can't consistently bowl fast. So I'm not too sure if what's going on with Seals. We should change the schedule to what schedule is that? Personally, Try personality. Oh, personally, I think he's saying tired of Blackwood and Brooks. I think. Hold on, guys. I think this is the first time I can remember Jason being under pressure for his test spot. He hasn't performed with the bat or ball in 2022. Desperately need to step up with the bat. I agree. Sports to the bone. Romari Shepherd and Odin Smith could fill in Hola spot. Time for somebody else. A chance. Hola must go. He can be a strike bowler or we can play him as a batsman. Hola must go. All right, Kurt. I hear you, Kurt. Hakeem Jordan, Raston Primus. Oh, I think these are the guys that were doing some work in the recently concluded tournament. Shepherd and Smith go in franchise. He says, take Pooran to Zimbabwe or someone or middle order. Oh, you're going to take him there. You're going to tie him up and carry him there. Those guys don't have any time to play red ball cricket. Remember, he said it out of his own mouth, that red ball cricket will help to develop his game, but they don't have the time. There was a guy in the academy team that would have been a better bowler than Minley. Who's that again? Remind me. We should change the schedule so we can have more of our franchise players challenging current spot in the test team. Sports to the bone. This is Phil Simmons' final series as West Indies coach. So how would you rate his white ball success and red ball success? I'm a white ball 4 out of 10 test. I think we did this the other day. For test, I would give him run about your score 7.5. Probably, I would be pushing 8. White ball probably 3. Probably 3 with white ball. You understand? Red ball, he has definitely helped the team. We have won a couple of series. He has overseen a couple of guys coming in and making a mark. People like Jaden Seals, Alzari improving. Just as how we blame him when we lose, we have to give him the credit for some of the improvement. People like Seals and Joseph and these guys, coming in. People like Kyle Mears and these guys breaking into the test team. But where the white ball team is concerned, total failure, disastrous. Brooks can scratch him age. Sports to the bone. How about giving these bowlers another look under a quality bowling coach? I not dropping the bowlers, I not dropping the bowlers because before we went to Australia, we were saying that the bowlers will do well, the batsmen would be the problem. I not dropping the bowlers. I personally want to see improvement from Seals and Rowe and Hole and these guys, yes, but I'm not dropping the bowler. It's Marnus Lamachet, Steve Smith, David Warner, Travis Head, Kowaj, all of these guys are probably in the top 10 best batsmen in the world. So I didn't expect these guys to steamroll them. All this talk about our men's game, the women playing terrible cricket, no call for a new coach, sports to the bone. I think we lost to England recently 3-0 if I'm not mistaken. Courtney Walsh just took over, so you're definitely on the mark there. Javid is going to be under the microscope, need to start producing victory. You understand? I mean, the problem with that though, he would have lost a couple of his senior players. Deandra Dattin stepping away, Alisa Mohammed deciding to take a break and so forth. But he will definitely need to step it up, or he will lose his spot, as you are saying. Is Roach gonna be fit for next month? I'm not too sure what his issue is, so I'm not too sure. Sinclair, my choice. Spinner says Smith. All right. Time for old man Brooks and Bonner to retire. Waste of time, he say. Good night. Hotbox from out of St. Thomas, Jamaica. Why Blackwood is still in the team and Brooks? They are holding up the middle order. Sports to the bone. Here's my prediction. People like Brathwaite, Shandapal, Bonner, Mayers, Blackwood, and Da Silva will make centuries against Zimbabwe, and I think people like Seals will slow down Zimbabwe. Probably. Eventually, when Hola, Blackwood, Bonner retire, we gonna cry on the test team. We're gonna cry on the test team, says Javid. Good evening, you all. West Indies showed no fight, and clearly fitness is a concern all the way around. I think, yeah, in the second test, especially OJ, they didn't show any fight. The first test match, not so much. I think they showed a little bit of fight, but in the first test, It was disastrous. Kenora says Blackwood should go. We gave him vice captain, right? And we we're not getting much from him. Sports of the Bone. Apparently, we are only playing 3 test series and only 6 matches in the whole year of 2023. Why is ICC so committed to giving us small teams 2 matches, 2 test series, 2 or small teams 2 match test series? How will test cricket stay alive? And I think this is something that we have we spoke about before Supernova. And if you look at a couple of the other teams, the amount of games that they are getting. Someone from South Africa spoke. I don't remember who it was that spoke about it from South Africa, that it's not good. As I said, it's not going to be, it's not good for us in terms of our development and things like that. Blessings, Irfan. We can't make these guys better. What CWI should do is focus on getting more cricket played at grassroots level and get the love for the game more back in the Caribbean. I would have given you guys my experience coaching at the primary school and high school level in Jamaica, coaching cricket, and let's just say I am not too sure if I'm not too sure if we're going to be turning the corner anytime soon. McKenny Clark from I think this is the guy that he was talking about. I don't know if any of you watched the Stanford documentary, but the big thing he brought to West Indies was professionalism. Maybe West Indies should seek further investment from the franchise owners. I don't think I actually saw the documentary. Yeah. We need to find a way to have a full regional 4-day series again. Sports of the Bone, what you think about Hurricane penalty missed? In all honesty, I thought Hurricane was going to score that goal. I was watching the game with my wife, and I was saying to her, listen, this man not going to miss, That is what I was saying. This man not going to miss any at all. So touch back with the cricket. I was saying to her, this man not going to miss, because as you guys know, I watch Premier League every Saturday, Sunday, and Wednesday, or whenever it is on. So, I was like, he's going to kick it to the left, even though Hugo Lloris is his club teammate, and he knows where he's going to kick it. When Hurricane hits those penalties, it's not easy to stop. And I was saying to my wife, he's going to kick the ball hard to the left, and the keeper is not going to stop it. The man kick the ball over the bar, star. Kidnap Pooran and Hetmeyer, force them to play test. Cornwall should. That is the thing again. It's nice to talk about this because we know they have. We think they have the talent and the technique, but these are the same guys too. When they come up against top teams, they can't even bat 2 or 3 overs in T20 cricket. So I don't even know, star. Cornwall should be in the team for Blackwood, says Roger. All right, not for Rastan Chase, for Blackwood. If Brandon King isn't called up for those Zimbabwe tests, something is very wrong with our selection process. I think he has the technique to survive and score big eventually. I agree. Brandon King and Casey Carty, these guys are Northerners. These guys need to start getting a look in the team. Seals is definitely fitness. His shoulders should be broader. He also has a bit of tummy. That rising like yeast, needs more running and skipping and light weights. All right. The woman, they are playing now 97 for 70, 19 over. That's not good. If players don't make the effort to improve individually, how much can you blame the coach? Coach can't play for them. And that is something that we have said on a couple of occasions. But at the end of the day, the captain goes down with the ship. I know CWI is struggling financially, but looking ahead, they have to find a way to include 2 to 3 academy players. Those close to test selection and tours going forward help them to develop quicker. I agree. 4 or 5 games for our 4-day tournament, not good enough. Some of the players in the region not familiar enough with conditions in different islands. I agree. These are things that we have spoken about on this platform on a few occasions, man, in terms of the players not getting an opportunity to play enough cricket. Sports of the Bone, Haynes must call up another medium pace bowler like Minley instead of a faster bowler like Shemar, Odin, O'Shane, faster bowler like Shemar, Odin, O'Shane, even Shepherd would have been a better option. All right, Kurt, I hear you. West Indies will only do well against lower ranked teams and needs to tour level and those who struggle in the Caribbean. I think Ian, it was tough against Australia. As you said, our players are not consistent, but we just won against England, even though they weren't playing their best cricket, but we just won a series against England. You understand? Bangladesh would have proven that they can be quality when they are ready. We just won against them. I mean, I know you want us to beat South Africa, Australia, and England and New Zealand consistently, but our players are probably not good enough. It was Nakia from South Africa who said that. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, Sports at the Bone. Speaking of World Cup, it's crazy. We just witnessed Cristiano Ronaldo final World Cup game. Seems like he will retire after the Euro in 2024. I think Zero Nako goes for Rooney. Boy, I tell you, I would really have, as much as I support Argentina, I am not a die-hearted Messi fan. So I personally wouldn't have a problem if Ronaldo won the World Cup, if Portugal won the World Cup. Because people like Bernardo Silva, people like Bruno Fernandes, Cancelo, all of these guys are quality players, so I wouldn't have a problem. You understand? But one of them things, Sports to the Bone, I heard the other day that England, Australia, and India will have 5 test matches likely next year or so. The question is why ICC allow make West Indies play 2 matches instead of more, because they are just worried about the money, and these teams will be able to fill venues, and that's what they are worried about. West Indies women 105 for 7 after 20 overs. All right, Shannon Gabriel should be in a team including Hetmyer and Narayan. Okay. Next test series for Zimbabwe, my squad: Tej, Brathwaite, Bravo, Django, Shea Hope, Mayers, Da Silva, Holder, Cornwall, Joseph, Roach, Seals, Philip, and King. All right. Hotbox says, I play schoolboy cricket with King, and I can tell you, King can bat for a very long time. I surprised to see him playing T20 cricket. He was test match and ODI cricketer. I remember when that youth was going to school. If I'm not mistaken, he went to Campion, or I think he went to Campion College, if I'm not mistaken. I remember him scoring a whole lot of runs in schoolboy cricket out there, and thing, he's a good player. Profits splits between nations are focused on those team who get most of the profit. Simply put, they have the population and interest in the game to generate more revenue. I couldn't have said it better, OJ. Sports at the Bone, have they decided who is the next coach yet? Calvin, if a decision has been taken, it has not been announced publicly as yet, so we aren't sure. Anyone knows how much first class match Tej Narayan played before his test debut? Tej Narayan, Chanopal, I'm not sure how many. I could pull it up, but Tej Narayan, Chanopal has been on the scene for a while. I remember him coming out of high school and scoring some runs, and I was wondering if they were going to give him a look in until he basically faded away until he started playing some cricket over here in America when regional was out, and then he went back to the regional and started to do his thing. And someone pull it up for me there. I probably can pull it up. Just remind me so I can pull it up. For anyone who doesn't understand, it's the same thing Dan Perez from Madrid said about Champions League and La Liga. All right. I think sports, Taylor, Edwards, Lawson, or Rose, we have in the past against Australia never finding these young players anymore. Yeah, remember these guys, yeah. It's regional cricket that prepares you for international. Sports at the Bone, we just want West Indies to compete. They hadn't lost a test series this year and got pounded. They need to perform better, bro. I don't expect them to be world beat. I agree, Ian. I definitely understand what you're saying. And I said it earlier when we just started that it was good how they fought in the first test, but the second test we didn't see any fight at all. I totally agree, man. I totally agree. Someone said Hetmyer and Narayan is T20 cricket becoming international standard. That's the only way I see Narayan Maroon again. Yeah, those guys not going to play test cricket, man. Narayan is afraid to play international because going to call. Yeah, that is something that we have said. Sports at the One, I think Neymar should play one more World Cup. I mean, it depends on if he is able to keep his fitness level up to that level. If they are able to keep him motivated, the Brazilians love football so much. If he makes it to 4 more years at the club level, and World Cup comes around, Neymar is going to play. If he makes it to the next 4 years and is in good physical condition, if he's retired, he's going to come out of retirement and play. The Brazilians love their country too much for him not to play, but it's a possibility that he might not make it for another 4 years because, maybe he's losing the love for the game. Tage has played 52 first-class games and 15 List A games. All right. Da Silva should bat higher up the order, says Jordan. All right. Campion High School, him go. Yeah, man. Campion. I remember him going to school. I definitely remember this guy going to school and scoring a lot of runs. Sports to the Bone, what you take on who should be dropped and who shouldn't be dropped? All right, so Australia, as we said at the beginning, we basically gave them a free pass, but in the way in which some of the guys got dismissed was really, really disgusting to watch. But I sort of have an eye on Brooks and Blackwood right now. I have an eye on these guys. As I said, Brooks, Blackwood, I have to pressure the batting. Brooks, Blackwood, Jason Hole, I need to step it up. The batting is a problem, you understand? And when we say these things, we have to look and say who's going to replace them. It's not like there is anybody dominating at the regional level to replace them. So if we are replacing them, is to give somebody a look in and see how they're going to perform. You understand? It's not like we have people scoring a lot of centuries. So I know the next question is going to be, when you drop Brooks and Banner and Blackwood, who is going to come in? Because there is nobody banging down the door and making a lot of runs at the regional level. You understand? So if these guys should get dropped out of the team, I guess they would have to look at someone else. Somebody just to give them a look. Probably like the Brandon King and the Alec Arthanes and the Casey Cartier of this world. Neymar have next Copa America. All right. Sports to the Bone. Since West Indies beat England after over the past 10 years, also why they can't beat Australia? Because there's a psychological thing when we play against England, plus sometimes England play shady cricket. You understand? Plus England, just the other day, England was in the Caribbean. It's not easy to go to Australia and beat them still, What's your squad for this Zimbabwe series? I'm not too sure how many players are going to be available because some of them going to play that T20 league, but I would definitely want to. I think Brandon King is going to play the T20 league also, but I would want to see Casey Cartier and probably Brandon King get a look in. So but generally speaking, the squad would be the one that was the same squad. For Argentina versus Croatia, I'm taking Croatia and France versus. For Argentina versus Croatia, I'm taking Croatia and France versus Morocco. I'm obviously taking Morocco. France will become the first team to reach back-to-back finals in the World Cup since Brazil. All right. Why? Let us see. Let us see where it goes. Because my team down in the nitty-gritty right now, so I don't even want to say anything. Sports to the Bone, how much test match West Indies playing against Zimbabwe in January? 2. I think we're going to play 2 test matches against them. The problem with West Indies cricket is this strip they are playing on or in the region. France, I'm saying France will beat Morocco too. Yeah, I think that is what that's what you were saying. Sports to the Bone, next week is IPL draft. Curious to see what effect the West Indies World Cup performance will have. Well, I want to see, because there are a couple of West Indians that put their name in the highest pot, the highest possible pot. I can tell you for free, Australia won't be playing test matches against West Indies for a while if it isn't already scheduled. They referred to our cricket as less than schoolboy level. Yeah. Plus, they didn't receive any revenue, OJ, because the stands were basically empty. They probably see it as waste of time. What is your thought? 11 years of cricket and 11 centuries, top order batsman. You probably would want more centuries, but at the end of the day, we don't see a lot of people scoring any centuries, but you would want more, man. Da Silva can't run at number 7. He's going to make runs at number 4. Oh, he said if Da Silva can't make runs at 7, he's going to make runs at 4, eh? Or is that a question? OJ reminding me to remind you guys to like up the video. You know, I like to say that you guys don't want to like up the video. Like up the video, man. Like up the video, guys. So we're basically 40 minutes in. When we have 15 minutes remaining, I will open the thing so you guys can come on and have a talk. You understand? You know, once it is a school, we're not on holiday. I will go for 1 hour. But don't worry yourself. Once school is out and I am on holidays, we can do the 2.5, 3 hour live shows. So I am going to open it up once we have 15 minutes remaining. Let me just read some more comments and then I open it up so you guys can get a chance. Since CWI broke up the team, it was only a matter of time. It's Messi's World Cup. And that is the thing, you know, I want Argentina to win, but I don't really subscribe to the Messi thing, you know. I am not a diehard Messi fan, so sometimes when I am saying Argentina, the next thing I hear somebody say is Messi, and I am not really, in my own way, but I personally prefer to see, in my own way, because Messi, he's carrying the team now, but in all honesty, I prefer to watch Angel Di Maria in Argentina colors more than how I prefer to watch Messi. It might sound mad, and this is not the first thing I am going to say that sound that way, but I mean, Angel Di Maria has been injured, but I personally prefer to see Di Maria playing for Argentina than how I in major tournaments than how I you know, the other day Messi performed well, so I won't say anything too tough. Rich Pool says, looking at the series and low lights, I disagree with you all. West Indies bowling looks way short of top class test standards. Look at the lack of wicket. Yeah, I mean, that's what we're saying, you know. Do you know the date when those matches going to play? I'm going to have to double check. I know it's in January though, but just continue to stay tuned to the channel, and as soon as the dates are made available, and if they were made available, I will double check and let you know. West Indies playing Australia in 2024, he says. All right, the only players deserve a permanent place in the team should be Tej, Brathwaite, Joseph, also King, Carty, Alec, and Bonner. Brooks Blackwood out. That thing, no. Okay. Zimbabwe team, Brathwaite, Campbell, Hetmeyer. My Zimbabwe team, Brathwaite, Campbell. Which Campbell? Is there another Campbell in the squad? Hetmeyer, Pooran, Lara, Chase, Narayan, Russell, Oshin, Odin, and Shepherd. Okay, Sports Bone for the tour against South Africa. I think the top batsmen for the team are weak. Right now, they don't have the quality batting like Callis, the Silva, Boucher, and Smith. They were better back then, yeah. Brandon King averaged 23.94 in ODI cricket. Can't see him doing better in Test. Needs to play more first-class cricket. I would want to see him playing some more red ball. King Kimo Paul is the man for the West Indies. Best player, he says. Okay. Da Silva bats with tailenders most of the time. OJ wants to see Da Silva batting up the order, I know. So yeah, but he's correct though. King needs more 4-day cricket. Do you think the divide between players and admin can be resolved? Maybe not, because players going always want more money. Admin going say no. So I think Dybala is a forgotten thought in the Argentina team. It's a good thing he doesn't have much ego, because if it was certain players, how much noise would be happening. And I tell you, I didn't even remember that the man, you know, is from Argentina. The thing that they always like to say is that he and Messi cannot play in the same team. I don't know why. King not in my Test team unless he has a really good first class season. He has never had one, and I agree. I agree. You know, I just think these guys look good playing certain cricket. So I would want to see them put together some good innings in regional tournaments. So Mohammed, I definitely can understand where you're coming from. February 2023 is Zimbabwe series. March 2023. So why did I think it was January? It's January, man. I'm almost certain. France winning World Cup. Remember, say, all right, I hear you. She said France winning the World Cup. I mean, it's a lot of quality, you know. So if they win, it wouldn't be a lot surprising. My only reason to say why France win the World Cup, I wouldn't feel too good is because King Pogba is not there. Sports the one, I heard they'll play Australia again in 2024. All right. Rich Poe said, to what extent is West Indies cricket actually damaged? What is the root problem, Sports the bone? Why the root problem is a whole lot of things that we have been discussing in a man. So I can't even grassroots cricket, people not wanting to play red ball cricket, people just wanting to play T20 white ball, T20 cricket and thing. Desmond Haynes is only picking his friends. West Indies will continue to lose. Well said, Salasha. Don't know if that's how she pronounce her name. Should politics and sports mix? Qatar came in for unfair criticism. Agree. Politics and sports. I personally don't like it, you know, because I, as a coach, if I am coaching right now, and they ask me that question, ask me them all a political question, I am going to move on to the link now, so you guys can try to come on. I will let you in. This is my last comment that I go and say before I let in these guys. Where politics is concerned, you know, I really watching Qatar World Cup to see some football, and I'm not watching it to see if they're celebrating people wearing different color rainbow and all. I'm not watching for that. If I want to see that, I watch something else. I watching football. So, you know, if I was the coach, the only thing I would say is that ask me anything about the team in terms of the play and anything politically related. You can take it up with the rest of the management, with the team's publicists or whoever, or media personnel. I don't really like it. I actually hate it. I hate the idea of putting people on them sort of things. I watching Qatar World Cup to see football. Them need to go with them foolishness. As not saying that human rights don't worth it, you know, but when I want to watch football, I watch football for football. All right. I think we have Marlon and Mr. Lover on. So up until 5, you guys will have the floor. And as per usual, I will go through the comments. You guys can keep the comments going. I will keep clicking on it like this. And if there's a particular question or anything, we read it. So, you know, I just want everybody to get an opportunity. So, Mr. Lover, I think you were on first. You can go ahead and tell us and let us hear what you are saying.
Okay, let me just say congratulations to Jaden and Chanderpaul on debut, scoring 161s versus Australia at an average of 40. That was marvelous for me. That pull shot off of Stark, I think it was Alcombe Stark, for 6 of a fine leg.
I think that was in the first test, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it was a good shot, man. Remind me of his dad.
Let me just also shout out the skipper on scoring 196 runs as he should, as leader of the team, but at 49 average. I just want to say that we need to restructure our middle order, and we need to find a better sprinter than Chase and a bit more faster bowlers than Philip. Philip did decent, although he could have done better. But mainly 2 overs was a bit. Then talking about Jason Holder, my God, from seeing him at that double century at home, my boss looked weak.
Yeah, he's not looking himself at all.
Anyhow, Zimbabwe Test Series, I think Brandon King, Casey Carty, and probably Shane Dowich can come back in the squad.
And they have done enough red ball work to get a look in.
Not really. They didn't really do enough work because Dowich probably yes, because he played the whole first class season. But the other 2, Carty and King, they had white ball duties. So, yeah. Anyhow.
All right, Mr. Lover. All right. I respect. Yeah, Marlon.
Well, coming into Australia, I didn't think the bowlers would have performed so poor.
Yeah.
I don't think we could understate how poor the bowling was. They had no bite to them. Outside of Alzari Joseph, nobody else looked as if they could get anybody out. I'm being honest, nobody else. And I said this, that attack missed Shannon Gabriel. Shannon
Yeah.
had that extra yard of pace. And I don't know his fitness situation, so I'm not going to comment.
I think it must have been fitness why they sent for Minley instead of Shannon. Couldn't have been anything. Well, I wouldn't even say it couldn't have been because knowing these selectors.
Lennox, Shannon have that extra yard of pace, and Shannon is better than Alzari.
Yeah, he would have heard them. He would have heard them, man.
We miss Shannon Gabriel in this series because Shannon could have hurried some of the batsmen. Shannon was wicket to wicket. Like
And he gets the ball to move also. He moves the ball a little also.
Like he has a high percentage of getting people bowled out of most bowlers in the world. We terribly miss him, honestly. Mainly, I watched a few overs, didn't cut it. Jason Holder didn't cut it.
Yeah.
Nobody else outside Alzari, and Alzari didn't do that well either. But he was just the best of a bad bunch. It really looked really poor. Batsmen, I am not surprised how poor they did. I think the second innings was just a bewildered team in the game that just ended. They lost all the fight. Being in the field for 2 days, it was just it. So,
Also, I can't
honestly,
believe-
the only bright spots from it was Tej. I don't think there's anything else you could look and say. You could look at any bright spot. He was the only person you could say yes.
Yeah, we saw a little bit of fight from the skipper in the first test also with the century and I think a half century.
No, but why I wouldn't call it a bright spot? We know he has quality.
Yeah.
So he didn't tell us anything that we never knew. But I think Tej proved his worth, that he can survive at this level and even do. He's competent. But outside of that,
so what about our leading pace bowler, the wicket keeper Devon Thomas?
I was just gonna comment. My God.
Yeah,
I didn't see much of it. I can't comment. I didn't see much of it.
I saw a few of the deliveries, but I was really reading. I saw a few of the highlights. He was there bowling, man. He was bowling. He was doing his thing.
Listen, when you see Martin mainly bowling now, what 2 no balls in the first over?
Yeah, he bowled 2 no balls in the first over.
Or 1. I think it was probably 2.
1 no ball. It was 7 balls, 1 no ball, and all dot ball. And then the second over, everything went downhill.
Oh
and then
boy.
pulled the hamstring.
But Lennox, the most disappointing bowler of everybody was Rastan Chase. You see, when I was watching the first innings in the second test, I was watching it. And when I watched Brathwaite bowl Chase for I think at the 3rd over, listen, Chase was every over Chase throw for long hop. Every over Chase throw. And when Brathwaite gave my 3rd over, I was like, what did you see to warrant giving him a 3rd over? I licked him out the attack.
I didn't understand the tactics because when I was watching it on the first day at the second test match, as you said, he bowled within the first hour, and I was wondering. I didn't see it. I don't understand everything where cricket is concerned, but I was trying to read through it to work out possible theories or scenarios, what was going through Brathwaite's mind when he gave Rastan Chase the ball, and I couldn't come up with anything.
Anybody who feels at short leg when Chase is bowling must have a nightmare for the long ups that Chase served up.
Yeah.
And see Book's face look mad. I know you will move on to emotion, brother.
Yes. Listen, Chase was the one who got
it was Solazano. The ball a short ball, and it was Solazano.
This is like Chase really poor.
It wasn't good though to see that he was batting. I know people will say he's a quality batsman. I don't know where that come from. based on what he has done over the last couple of years. But he was batting at number 8, so obviously he's in the team as a specialist bowler. And for him to bowl like that as a spin bowler, man, it was hard to watch. It was definitely hard to watch. It's a good thing I didn't get a chance to watch all of the game because of how late it was being played, how late the game was played. You know, it was hard to watch, man.
Listen, it wasn't worth staying up to watch. Honestly, I would have loved to see what would have happened if the bowling attack didn't get so dwindled down with injuries.
Yeah.
Roach, Seals, because in the first hour and the first test, they actually bowled. I mean,
wasn't too bad, yeah.
Okay, but the second one, I mean, the guys had all the time in the world. Nobody did anything to trouble those batsmen. I mean, if you allow them, they would have been batting today. That's how ineffective the bowling was. And Sachin is saying this. These guys get 125 or 130 is not cutting it in Australia. It's just not.
That's a slow pace. Them pace, I used to probably bowl in pace when I go school Marlon, 125, 130. You know? Headley Cup pace that, man. Headley Cup schoolboy pace that.
Like, that can work in England where you get the ball to nip around.
Move around. 125 slow in Marlon. Slow
Very
bowling.
slow.
Slow bowling.
125 is
about 70.
I have a slow ball. Not even a slow ball mustn't be so slow. Your slow ball is supposed to be 130, 135 because it's supposed to, at international level, it's supposed to be bowling 145 and 140. Yeah.
And Lennox,
slow, man.
You cannot be an opening bowler or let's say a first change and bowling those slow pace.
Yeah, you need to be hurrying the batsman.
It don't work, and it showed Minley was ineffective. Granted, he got injured, but he was ineffective. Jason Waller was worse ineffective. I mean, I know Jason to be a line and length bowler with control.
Yeah.
They're walking Jason all over the place.
On that time, I saw Jason Waller batting and I saw they throw up a ball outside the half stump and I saw Jason Waller swing at the ball and I was like, Jesus. That's how he got on. I was like, really, Jason? I don't know. I don't know.
Hey, Mitchell Stark's slowest ball this whole series was what, 138, I think? My
Probably.
boss was 140, 150. My God.
But I thought Anderson Phillip was faster.
Anderson
These
Phillip bowls
guys are not fast. These guys
138.
are 138 bowlers. They are not fast.
We need to start cultivating guys like Alzari and what's his name, Shannon. That needs to be the average speed with which we are producing fast bowlers. We can't go anywhere with these guys bowling 128. And the Gen is too slow also.
I don't know if it's an injury problem with Seals, but you know he's not bowling as quickly again. Don't know if he was. I don't know what's happening.
Seals has a knee niggle, so that probably affecting him. Let me just say that I probably see Akeem Jordan potentially coming in for Zimbabwe. Hopefully, if everything goes well.
You see, honestly, I think if our players had more chance to play in Australia more frequently, we would do better. But honestly, it shows the lack of pace. The lack of pace is telling.
The guys, I don't know, Virgin. These guys, these sort of bowling not going to cut it. It can't cut it at all, especially against top order batsmen. Can I imagine these guys bowling to Marnus and Steve Smith and meat and drink that, man. Meat and drink every day of the week.
To be fair, there's only 3 bowlers I see actually give Marnus a little bit of problem every now and then. One, WW pace bowler, wicketkeeper batsman, Devon Thomas. In bowl couple short ball well, and nearly knocked down Marnus. Alzari had his numbers.
Yeah, Alzari had him penning a little bit. You know,
and Anderson Phillip in his earlier spells, yeah. But as he get later on into spell and third spell and fourth spell, my boss looked tired.
I mean, yeah, but in all honesty, the couple of games that I saw him in Supernova, I wouldn't have a problem if they give him a look in. You know, people go and say everything. People go and say it's because he's Bayesian, but we need to try something else. He didn't look too bad at all. That he didn't look too bad, but
okay,
I don't know.
Let me say something here. Yo, Supernova, picture having Hakeem Jordan or Zari Joseph with the new Duke ball in England. Picture that. Tell me how it looks.
I don't know if Shemar Holder is still injured. That man, from I see that man make his debut is always injured. I don't know what is going on with him. And he's not all that quick either.
I don't think Shemar Holder is the answer.
He's not as quick as Alzari Joseph either. He's not as quick as Alzari Joseph. He's just another option. He's not that quick either. So I don't know.
I heard that Shemar Holder is working and coming back stronger, so hopefully the person is right, and let's look forward to it.
Well, all we can do is hope. Hope. All we can do is hope. Because, as I said, going into Australia, I didn't expect us to dominate. My problem is how we lost the second game. I have a problem with that, brother. I have a problem with that.
Me too, but when you look at it, West Indies is a lower ranked team and a worse team than India. And India got ball up for 36, where West Indies got ball up for 77.
Man, I don't even care about it, India. I don't even care about them, I want to see my team do better. See, Richard asking about the link. We are actually finishing off now, but the link is in the description below. You can probably come on and take 2 minutes before we end up. We end. Yeah, I know the 1 hour live show is really, really difficult on you guys. We like the 2.5, 3 hours, but you guys have to sit with me, because you know how the work go already. I have to prepare for work tomorrow. But in the holiday time, we can get the 3 hours and the 4 hour live show. Yeah, but we definitely need some more pace ball. I think Marlon came off. We definitely need some more pace ball, Mr. Lover. And it's a lot of things. It's a lot of things the team need. The team definitely need a lot of things. I don't know how we're going to fix it, because, as I said, I'm not too sure if the quality, if the youngsters are playing enough cricket at the youth level, at school level coming through. I am not too sure if they are playing enough cricket at the youth level. And then you can't play 4 and 5 games in a regional tournament and then a competition finish. That is foolishness. How many games they play in the regional tournament?
5.
You can't play 5 4-day games. 5 games and each game are 4 days and that foolishness that. You cannot. There's no way on God's earth. You can play 5 for 5 first class match or 5 regional games for the entire tour season, and that is it. You can't develop that way, and each of the game lasts only 4 days. That don't make any sense.
True.
It makes no sense at all.
Let me just say this before we move on. How can we get better playing only 5 rounds of first class games? 6 test match per year. Except when we play England, we get probably 7. And then only like 2 or 3 best versus best matches before each series. It's not good enough. And we'll continue to fail unless we can get back to 10 rounds of first class cricket per year.
I agree, because these guys, as I said, they play 5 games for the regional season and then they zoop off. Gone to America to play in Holiday League. They gone to different places to play some T10 and some T20 cricket. And at the end of the day, I understand, because not all of these guys will be getting contracts from CWI. So the guys, this is how they earn. They don't have a job outside of cricket. So Some of these guys, they are not worried about it as how we are worried about it. They are looking at it as how to earn, to provide for their family. So we are thinking that they need to play red ball cricket, play a lot of cricket to develop their skills to move on to represent West Indies. But these guys are worried about making the money right away so they can take care of their families and pay bills. You understand? Because as much as I love teach and coach, if tomorrow I go to work and my principal say, boy, there is no money for the month, I have to find something else to do as much as I love my work. So we as fans, we're passionate and we want to see them play the cricket. But I understand. It's hard to say, and some might say that I think it's all about money, but these guys need to provide for their families. And I just one of them things there, you know? Yeah, yes, Richard, what say you now?
Well, good to see you, Sports to the Bone. Good to see the
Yeah, man, blessings.
Dr. Lover, Marlon. Yeah, man. I'm shaking my head. I've been following the World Cup, and the Seleção and all the other teams. But watch out.
The amount of noise that you make on YouTube about Brazil. They're home now. Anyways, what say you about this series that just finished down there in Australia?
Well, I want to point and cast the spotlight on the Australian team right about now. I'm exasperated with the West Indies travail. It looks like men against boys. How good is this Australian team, particularly the bowling lineup? But as a team, batsmen including, how good are they? And do they compare to arguably some of the greatest West Indian teams? Travis Head.
In terms of
Steve Smith, how you rate them?
In terms of if we are going to compare them to our former greats, maybe not so. But where the cricket is at now, let me tell you, Khawaja, this is the top six. Usman Khawaja, David Warner, Marnus Lamashane, Steve Smith, Travis Head, and Cameron Green is the all-rounder. All five of those guys, I think they are in the top 10 tests where batting is concerned. You know? So these guys are way ahead of us. Marnus Lamashane is ranked number 1. Steve Smith is 2. I am sure Travis Head is in the top 10. Usman Khawaja should be in the top 10 also. You understand? Travis Head is there. And Cameron Green is one of the best all-rounders going around now. And if you take it up, Alex, the keeper, Carey, you know, he does his thing. But when you look at the bowling now, Mitchell Stark, Josh Hazelwood, Nathan Lyon, one of the best off spinners of all time, Pat Cummins, all of these guys are way better than what we have now. But, you know, Steve Smith, Marnus Lamashane is in the early stage of his career. Steve Smith, as much as some people will probably not like it, is up there in terms of what he has achieved in comparison to some of our greats. He's averaging, I don't know if that man is not averaging probably close to 60. I'm not sure, but I am certain he's way over 50. Let me pull it up. But, you know, our team is nowhere close to those guys. But in as it relates to whether or not, whether they are, hold on, I'm trying to pull up this. As it relates to if they are as good as some of our past players, I might not go that far. But these guys are top cricketers, man. They are top cricketers. All right, Steve Smith in tests. Let me see. Steve Smith test average is 61.62. And I don't know if they updated since he just played. That man, 61, they updated. That 61, that man, you can't really do nothing much to that man. You have to just bowl consistently and hope you get him out. Hope he makes a mistake. Marnus Lamashane, that man score 100 more than how him feel. You understand? So it's really difficult. And in all honesty, going into Australia, I personally was saying that if we get the guys carrying the games up to 4.5, 5 days, I would be okay. So I was happy with the first game, but you know, the way in which we roll over for the second game wasn't too, you know, I wasn't too impressed at all. You know,
mental strength is so important. Technical skill is one thing, but the mental strength. I mean, how big is the gap, Sports to the Bone and fellow panelists? How big is the gap between the England, India, and Australia and the rest of the world, because it looks to me, has things changed from the last time I checked, we could mix it with the Sri Lankans, the Bangladeshis. We're going to be playing Zimbabwe shortly. South Africa might be too good for us. Is the gap between the best teams right now and the weakest teams a chasm? Is it a big gap? And West Indies,
there is a gap. I think I said that in a video.
Much closer to the lower nation than the top nation. I saw it go.
Yeah, there's a big gap, man, and we just realized it. You understand? Because we beat Bangladesh the other day. I mean, we beat a weakened England team, but an England team nonetheless. And now we play against Australia, and we see how it look. I mean, we didn't do too bad in the first test, but if you look at how we perform consistently, it shows that there's a huge gap, and there's a whole lot of reasons for that. We don't get an opportunity to play a lot of cricket against quality teams. We don't play a lot of cricket in the region. These guys play a lot of first-class cricket at a higher level than what we are playing at the international level. So they have a bigger pool to select from. You understand? As I said, they go up against quality teams more often than we do. You know, most of our talented players coming out of the under-19 cricket, they go on to play T20 cricket. They don't settle down and play test cricket. Because, you know, Alec, I did an interview the other day with Alec Arthanes, and he was saying that he played with some of the guys, Shubman Gill and these guys that are playing for India now. Some of these guys, the difference is that when they played under 19 cricket, they were able to go into a system that they got a lot, they were being paid. So they weren't worried about providing for their families in terms of going to work part-time and play cricket. So these guys, they were just playing cricket 24/7. They are not playing 5 games per season for that don't make any sense. We play 5 games in the region. You understand? So these guys play cricket all around, so their development is better. I don't know if we can call out the coaching also. The coaching can be a problem also in terms of how the youngsters are being coached. Maybe not even so, because we perform well at the under-19 level until it's time to play international cricket. So, man, there's a whole lot of things, Rich Pooh. There's a whole lot of things where that is concerned. Hold on, let me hear if Marlon and Mr. Love have anything to pitch in where that is concerned. Yeah, Marlon.
Regarding how good this Australian team is?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think they're really good, Lennox. I think personally, Pat Cummins is the best bowler in the world right now. Pat Cummins is a dangerous bowler. That man doesn't give you any time to rest. And remember, in the analysis of the first that I talk about something that the commentators mentioned. You see, the follow-up delivery after a good delivery that rattles a batsman is even more important than the previous one.
Exactly.
Cummins always have a good follow-up delivery, and that is what our bowlers fail to do. I remember, and they commented it in the second test. I don't remember which bowler they were talking about, but it was Joseph Alzari. That was before he got David Warner out. He had a really good ball to ruffle up David Warner. Yeah. The follow-up was a nothing ball outside half stump. And the man easily got a run and got off strike. That is the problem we have. We need bowlers who are consistent in all conditions. Pat Cummins is really good. Mitchell Starc is not as consistent, but his pace will trouble anybody.
Yeah. And because he's bowling for the swing also, so it's probably not going to be, as accurate all the time. But you're leaving out bowling, even though they hardly play a ball, and that man don't allow you to just stand around, and that man is always putting the ball in line with the stumps. I heard them give a percentage. I don't remember, but I'm almost certain that he
58%.
And I think that is the highest in the world as it relates to who bowlers that bowl the most accurate in terms of line and length. That man don't give you a chance to rest. See, somebody reminding us that Lamashane's average is 61 also. These guys make runs more than how they feel. You understand? So that is a problem.
Yes. And Lennox, when you have Josh Hazelwood mixed in that, where I think Josh Hazelwood is similar to Glenn McGrath. Nothing fancy, but his line and length is
steady.
Always accurate. He's always
red ball or white ball.
Yes, he's always pecking. Like
Mhm.
he doesn't have the I wouldn't say there's a big gap between him and Cummins, but he's not as good as Cummins. But the drop off is not that much. The
Yeah.
drop off is it's like 1A and 1B. Like these
And
guys
then
are really good.
And then when it's time for them to rest, you have one of the best spinner of all time bowling in Nathan Lyon. It's a good team. It's a good team. I am looking back and I can't remember. Nathan Lyon has been one of the best off spinner I've seen for a while now. Murray Litteran left the game. They had I'm trying to remember who I would put up there.
It's between him and Ashwin.
Probably Ashwin from India. Ashwin from India.
Yes.
I can't remember the
Moeen
one
Ali.
for the last probably 10 years. That man.
Because Yasir Shah at that time, but Yasir Shah is a leggy. But
Yeah,
Yasir Shah at that time when he was the man in spin
Yeah.
bowling, but he didn't last. I think people said outside of the UAE, Yasir Shah has no bite.
Yeah, I don't know. So when they get a rest from Pat Cummins and Hazelwood and these guys, you have one of the best spinner for all time setting you up, trying to get you out. So you're always on your toes. And I saw my vice captain do something the other day when the team was chasing, chipping down the wicket and hit back the ball right in Nathan Lyon hand. And I'm like, what is he doing? I don't know. I don't know, brother.
You see, me, Lennox, I'm not one of those guys who want to say that the players nowadays cannot compare to the older generation. These guys would have held their own against the best bowling attacks throughout history. They are good cricketers. Like Faz would say, Marnus Labuschagne is not the flashiest and the fanciest player, but the man is really good.
Those guys can bat, Bridget.
I don't care if Andy Roberts, Joel Garner was coming at him. He will hold his own. So I'm not going to try to take away anything from these guys. They are good.
Those guys can bat. If you watch cricket and understand cricket, those guys can bat. That's all I can say. Marnus Labuschagne and Steve Smith against bowlers bowling 140 regular and move. The guys can bat. Sometimes because that is our pride and joy, the 70s and the 80s. It's very difficult for us to look at a current batsman and say he would be able to score runs against our players. But those guys can bat, man. That's what I can tell you. Those guys can bat.
Good players are good players across any era. You're just good. So I won't try to take anything away from them talking about how the bowlers in the 70s would destroy them. No. Like, good bowlers are good bowlers and good batsmen are good batsmen. Full stop. These guys are good.
So I agree. Murray Litteran is the best off spinner of all time. We're just talking about since he left the game. I think Lyon is the best I have seen, coupled with the guy from India.
Ashwin.
Yeah, Ashwin. These guys are obsessed with cricket, Yeah, Mr. Lover. This comment on the screen, Marnus and Steve, those guys are obsessed with cricket, man. Yeah, Mr. Lover.
Let me just say this, as in relates to what Richard said. This Australia team right now is like when the West Indies was rebuilding and got into its glory days. I think they're still rebuilding and almost to their glory days.
Oh,
Australia. I know they're suffering right now, but they still have some more fine-tuning to do. But they are practically 80% of West Indies in their glory days.
The thing though, you have to look at the age of the team also. David Warner is 35, 36, I guess. So I think he said the other day maybe he has 12 more months left in him. Steve Smith, how old is Steve Smith? Maybe 34? I don't know. Steve Smith is there also. Nathan Lyon not going to last much long. It's a good unit still, It's a good unit that can probably play together for the next 2 years or 3 years, all of the players. So, as I said, it's difficult to beat them. I will say that much. It's difficult to beat that team. You understand? All right, guys. Let us talk a little bit of football before we're going, because as I said, this should have been a 1 hour. I have to get things in order for work tomorrow. So let's talk a little bit of football, seeing that we have Mr. Brazil himself on here. Marlon, I don't remember which team you were supporting. If it's England or it was Spain that got kicked out at the first round.
My passport is I have a Jamaican passport.
Yeah.
So you should know the team I support.
All right. That man is supporting England or Brazil.
I am supporting Brazil.
Probably Jamaican support Brazil more than how Brazil support Brazil. You know,
Listen, we support Brazil. Never England. I don't think there's a sport that England plays where I can say I support them.
You see, I can't say it that easy like you know. I can understand because of the rivalry, but you see, because I watch so much Premier League and I watch these guys week in, week out, it's really difficult for me to watch people like Harry Kane, Rashford, and you know, people like Henderson, as much as all these guys are from Liverpool, and people like you know, all of them guys on the team, Phil Foden. It's difficult for me to watch them going up against people that play in the Bundesliga and in the La Liga mostly. It's difficult for me to watch these guys and don't want them to win. You understand? As much I support Argentina, but you know, it really hurt me a little bit yesterday when Harry Kane kicked the penalty still because I wanted England to qualify for it.
You see, for me, I cannot separate my politics from my sports. They go. My politics informs my sport, and for political reasons, I could never support Argentina. Never. I mean, let me show you something. Argentina is just a racist country. Let's put it bluntly. Argentina is the only country in South America that does not have a black player that represents them. Argentina literally had a genocide to kill off their black population, and they by and large succeeded. Well, I'm not even trying to make a joke of it. I could never support that country.
You see, that is the thing that
So I could never support them. Yes, you could.
That is the thing, you know. I understand what you're saying about. It's almost the same thing like what I was saying earlier with the Qatar situation. I love human rights and I understand this and I understand that and I understand people getting a platform to speak. But I turn on my television, turn it to Qatar channel to watch World Cup and football. So I don't really want to hear the whole heap of politics and who doing this and who doing that. You know, so it's almost the same thing with this. I understand where you're coming from in terms of the whole race thing, you know what. That has been my team, not because I'm Messi. So my problem is when my team win the World Cup, when an Argentina win the World Cup, and I go and hear people dedicating it to Messi, I might have a problem because I'm not the biggest Messi fan. You understand? All right, Marlon, I hear you. Marlon supporting Brazil. Yes, Richard. You make sure we wear your yellow so we know what's going on now.
What do you want to ask about the World Cup? I must say I was fascinated in your take on England and actually being bold enough and brave enough to not be denigrating the England team. There's a bag of people on social media England not good, England not ready. And
no man, I can't do that.
Reasons, so honestly, England play better than France. Huh?
I can't do that because when I look at that youth from Arsenal, soccer playing on the right wing, there is no way on God's earth I could say that I don't want that team to win. When I see the win, it's even an easier decision for me because Pogba is not even playing for France. So it's easier for me to say make England win. But looking at how Saka and that 19-year-old Jude Bellingham playing in the midfield, how can I say I don't want that team? That because you're not from Manchester. No man, those guys played well, man. They played well. So is that it for your World Cup, Richard? Are you going to work with that team until you're going with Croatia?
No, well, hear this. This is the reason, boss, it stands right about now. Following Brazil's demise, unfortunately, but props to Croatia. Right about now, I can sleep personally very, very comfortably because England never got through. Why? I'm telling you, because of the English media hype. And
boy, that is the only
entitlement. I can't take that. Never have. I won't go into the politics, but just for that alone, it's never sat with me. But
it's not coming home, Richard. It's not coming home.
That is my main problem with the English. They talk too much, man. And as one of the Brazilians said, I don't remember if it was one of the former players said, all they do is talk and don't win anything. They talk too much, man. They always talking and. Jude Bellingham, that man value 550 million now coming out of the World Cup because he's English, you know. I can't. Anyway, so you say you're just going to continue to see what's going on, right? Morocco for the win.
The beautiful thing about it, any one of these 4 teams come out with it, I don't have a problem. They've all deservedly found their place in the semifinals. Personally, Morocco as an African Arab team, I would be delighted. Can you imagine seeing that? First time winners, Morocco. That would be phenomenal. Croatia, because they beaten Brazil, because they made the entrance first time in 1998. For a small nation, fantastic heart and ability and technical skill. I'd have no problem with those 2. So really, if you push me, those 2, me I go for.
So you're not supporting my team.
Too close to Brazil in terms of. Well, you know, I'm really impressed that without Pogba, Benzema, and Kante.
No. My team, Argentina. Talking about Argentina. Argentina is my team.
Oh yes, yeah. I can't. I disagree with you. Messi, personally, for me, I'm a Brazilian fan, and the best player that I've seen in my lifetime was Maradona. Messi is one of the finest players to have put on shoes on a football field. So just for that, it would be great if he won a title. Because what he's done in his career, I think he's done plenty to be given the title as one of the best players ever. I don't think this Argentina team fully merits lifting the cup, personally. To lose 2-1 against Saudi Arabia, you know, touch and go against the Netherlands, I want to see a shock. There's more dramas in store, trust me. But if you push me, I want Morocco or Croatia to eventually lift this one. Wherever they do, I don't mind. But England, now bring it home, and for that, let the cards fall where they may.
All right, I hear you. I support Argentina, but France going to win the World Cup, though. Mr. Lover, what say you?
I'm not a big football fan, but I'm going with the motherland, Morocco.
Okay, I hear you. All right, guys. All right. Richard, man, you came on when we were basically wrapping up, but it was definitely a pleasure hearing your voice as per usual. Marlon, Mr. Lover, always in the house. All the guys that were in the comment section. You guys know how we do it on Sunday already. We work with a 1-hour live show when school is out of session in the summer, Christmas, whichever holiday it is. We can do the 3-hour live show. As of now, you know how my thing already. We have to prepare for Uncle Sam work tomorrow. So it was indeed a pleasure talking to you guys. And I, appreciate you all coming on and sharing your thoughts in the comment section as per usual. Blessings, guys. Enjoy the rest of the Sunday and stay safe. All right?
Blessings. Later, Richard.
All right. Blessings.
Bless up yourself. Peace.
All right.